Welcome to Veteran Voices, SITREP, with your hosts, Tom and Chris Faust.
Welcome to Veteran Voices. I am Tom Faust, and I'm here with my son, Chris.
Hi.
And today we want to follow up on part of what our mission is, which is to share information, resources for veterans, things that you can use to get some help if you need it in various areas. And today we want to talk about the USO, that is the United Services Organization, an organization that provides services to active duty, mostly active duty military members, but also to veterans in some respects. And so we want to talk about that a little bit. They are a charitable organization, a private organization. They're not associated with the government in any particular way, other than the fact that they are able to go overseas and help with various shows they put on for service members. That's, I think, what they're most known for.
Yeah, I got to experience that, which we can chat briefly about a little later on, too.
Okay. And so, yeah, their mission, they say their mission is to strengthen and connect military service members to their families, homes, and country. They achieve this through various programs and services. As far as charitable organizations go, I know when I look at where I want to donate something, I tend to try and find what I can about how do they spend their money. There's, how much of it is spent on administration and how much is spent on actually providing the services that they do. And USO has a 4-star rating from the Charity Navigator, which is a group that looks at various charities and how they spend their money. Are they transparent in how they spend it? How much actually goes to help? And they have a very good score with that. And also their Beacon score, which is sort of like a FICO score, is very good as well. And so they utilize their donor resources, they say, to achieve meaningful outcomes. The various services they provide to active duty include entertainment, which is the shows that they send people over to wherever the service members are stationed at the time, and bring celebrities and have live performances and things like that. They support families, help them stay connected during deployments through communications and support of the spouses and children. They provide airport lounges while you're traveling. And then other things like health and wellness programs and emergency assistance. If there's a problem in the family, they can help get communication through and things like that. And of course, care packages. You got to get those cookies and brownies and things across, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And the main thing that I want to talk about today is going to be on the transition assistance program, because this is available to veterans. And the idea is to help veterans to be able to transition into civilian life. And they provide programs in various areas, such as professional development to help you transfer your current knowledge that you learn in the military into a job that you can do in the civilian world, or training for new positions as well. You can create a personalized action plan to where they talk to you and figure out what it is you're looking for, what you need, and help you work a plan and set some goals and make sure that you have a good roadmap to achieve these goals and get your transition completed successfully. They do other things as well, helping with job opportunities and resources, education, including online courses that you can do. They can help teach about finances to hopefully keep you stable. Basically, they provide a lot of different services and things that can help transition into civilian life. And I know, Chris, you said you had a little bit of experience with USO, not in transition necessarily, but while you were overseas.
Not so much transition, but I can definitely speak to the events while I was deployed to Afghanistan. the USO actually put on a event there, so I actually got to see, for what it's worth, Joan Jett. She came over, did a concert, and also got to see a comedy routine and everything by Robin Williams, and I even got to meet the guy and get a picture with him, which I don't have on me. I have to find it in the midst of my stuff. But it was actually just really cool that, you're over in Afghanistan, you're deployed, you're in a completely different environment, and at least it gave, some sense of, hey, this is, actually kind of cool, kind of escape from the troubles that you might be thinking about. But I'm glad that the USO does have things for, the transition assistance. I didn't personally need it, but for some people, it might be, it's going to be a bit of a culture shock going from the regimented, discipline the way it is in the Army or, whatever branch of service you're in, to getting out there and you're like, okay, well, what do I want to do? Because it's completely different. It's going to be very laid back and you're just like, okay, it's weird. So having somebody to help you along with that, and also to say, okay, well, you were, if you ran cables or worked on phones while you were in the military, that was your job. They could, point you to the direction of a trade with that, whether it's, working for a phone company or, however it might be. I had a couple of friends of mine got out and just worked security because that's one thing you're also trained for, whether it's your actual job is, you can actually do security. But yeah, I didn't need that just because when I got out, I lived with my dad for a while. So I got to have that stability to, get a job and kind of transition that way as well. So,
yeah. But I know that for you were in communications. And I guess after you got out, the job you got it's not exactly communications, but it is electronics oriented. You're dealing with what were you dealing with? Let's do it that way. I know you worked for something where you were working with setting up equipment at a company. Worked your way up some sort of management role as well, right?
Yeah, so I did a few different things while I was going to school. I was just working at a grocery store. But what I wanted to do was get into the IT field. So as a signal support system specialist, which is a jack of all trades, I did the setup of antennas. I set up radios, was the company commander's radio operator. But part of that was also basic network administration. Some of the training that I had gotten prepared me for that. So when I broke into being I think it was an easy tech at Staples that kind of started my career. So it was break fix of computers. And then from there got a job as a IT for copiers. So I was setting up copiers on networks, setting up scanning to folder, email, and then just kind of evolved from there to now I'm a internal systems administrator for the company that I work for. So at least I had a general kind of a path, even though it took a bit to get there.
But yeah, at least you were able to work it through and find yourself in a field that you like working in.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, a lot of others might not have that luxury. A lot of people, everyone's going to be different. They're gonna get out of the military, and their mind's going to work differently than mine would or yours did when you got out. So yeah, having an organization to help out, even if it's there just like a peace of mind of, hey, if I need it, it's there. That's a really good thing.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of bringing it to light so people are actually aware of it, because they might think, oh, well, the USO is only there for the active people. It allows, active members to do things like this. Or they provide these services for active members. But the fact that they have a transitioning aspect to them is an excellent reason why we're bringing them up.
Yeah. Yeah. And lots of programs to help with the transition. And a lot of people get out, excuse me. A lot of people get out of the military and their training may not really be something, especially if they were infantry, the training may not really be something that they can do in the civilian world other than security, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you can learn new trades and take these courses and they provide them for you is a good benefit as well.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that the VA benefits for education, can also be used.
Yeah, that's what I did. Like I said, when I joined, it was for college money. And yeah, that went towards some college and bills and everything else. But it gave me an opportunity to experiment and pursue the direction that I wanted. But yeah, if you're just not sure, at least you can have, somebody along with the ride for you to kind of explain what things might be, and, kind of figure out what you like, what helps, and then kind of, point you in that direction.
Yeah, you can get some counseling, somebody to talk to discuss what the possibilities are, and help you work out your thoughts on what you really might want to do for a living, and be able to make that transition smoother.
Yeah.
So in addition to being able to help with the transition, the USO can also support families, and they provide some various kinds of events that you can do, like employment processing events for active duty military spouses and National Guard and reservists as well. They do mentorship, and they can help you with LinkedIn and building a personal brand, which can also help in creating things like your resume and
yeah, you can put anything you want in a resume. If there's anything I've learned over the years, it's the shorter and more precise a resume is, the better, because if you get 7 pages of things, you just skip over it. I mean, I did when I was interviewing people to, work help desk and things like that when I supervised. And it's, having that knowledge, I wish I would have initially too. But having that option to do that will definitely help in the future.
Yeah, and it's always best, obviously, to have your resume say things that are particular to the job that you are looking for, and you can omit things that just aren't relevant because that's just a distraction.
Yep.
So all these kinds of help you can get from USO, and we will include some links along with this podcast where you can go and look up this information for yourself, read up on them a little more, do your own research to see if you agree with their policies and things, and get the help you need, or get the help for someone else in your, that a family member, a loved one, friends, anybody else that's getting out of the military and looking to figure out where they're going to go from here. Anything else we want to talk about, Chris? You got anything else on your mind for this? Did I miss?
One thing we didn't really touch on that the USO does help with is one-on-one assistance planning for the future. And I think that also goes along the lines of pointing in the directions of if you need something, like, if you need to talk with somebody about, anything, to help you deal with things there. They also point that to you, or point you to that, to talk to somebody. Just like I said, your mind's going to process things differently. So you might not be able to handle things in your, brain to go one way or another. It's part of, PTSD or whatever it might be, but they help you with that. They have services that they can assist with that as well.
Yeah. Excellent point. So I'll include links to the USO services, how you can donate if you want to donate to them, how you can volunteer if you're the type of person that likes to actually put time in and volunteer for things. For today, I think that's all we got, Chris. So thanks for your assistance and your personal thoughts on your experience with the USO, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. And thanks for everyone for tuning in to listen to this. Hopefully it gives somebody some insight, or, lets them want to do something. That's kind of the whole point of this. So thanks for taking your time to watch us and listen to us jabber on for a little bit.
Absolutely. And that we do. Okay, so great. Thank you. And appreciate your listening, as Chris said, and we will see you next time.